Good morning, gang. Happy Wednesday morning. Okay. The craziness just keeps going on. We need to learn how to be ungovernable. It's as simple as that. Okay. And they're kind of making it easy for us. It's gotten ridiculous. I want to give you this. Just as somewhere to start. These are laws that are currently on the books around the country. In Pennsylvania, it's illegal to sleep on top of a refrigerator outside. Okay. In North Carolina, bingo games are not allowed to last more than 5 hours. In Idaho, you can't ride a bicycle on a tennis court. In Mobile, Alabama, it's illegal to open an umbrella on the street. In Montana, married women cannot fish alone on a Sunday, and unmarried women are never allowed to fish alone. Okay. This is my favorite, though. In Rhode Island, any marriage which one of the parties is an idiot or a lunatic is null and void. Considering how blue Rhode Island is, nobody's married legally in Rhode Island. This is the stupidity that we have going on. I mean, what do all those laws have in common? Besides, they are actually on the books currently today. Okay, that these can't be enforced. I mean, can you imagine getting a ticket for riding a bicycle on a tennis court? Or can you imagine the mortgage company saying, I'm sorry, you're an idiot, you voted for Kamala Harris, or the IRS saying, we're not accepting your tax form, or we're not accepting your mortgage application because your marriage isn't legitimate. Right? Okay. This is what's going on. Now you look at some of the stupidity that's going on today, and I've talked about this one numerous times. Kamala Harris, we're going to ban assault rifles. Again, using the idiotic definition of assault rifle. Well, they can't even come up with the definition. We're going to ban scary black rifles is basically what they're saying. Fine, paint it brown. But how are they going to enforce it? I mean, as I said last night, what are you going to take your 87,000 IRS agents and go door to door? Great. By 2050, maybe you'll have finished. I mean, I'd like to see 87,000 IRS agents walk around East St. Louis or walk around the south side of Chicago. There might be 47,000 IRS agents left by the end of the day. But you get into some worse ones, all right? And one of the silly ones that came out of the UN over the weekend was the UN adopting their pact for the future, that it was unanimously adopted because nobody objected. That was it. Okay, so we're going to do this. Everybody says, all right, go ahead, whatever. Okay, because nobody objected to it, it's now law. I don't care. Okay, the UN has no authority, zero, under the United States Constitution. Okay, the UN could say, effective immediately, Native Americans, blacks, Asians, Hispanics get $1 billion apiece in reparations, and the U.S. goes right here. Okay, they have no authority; they can't do anything. Camala Harris, we all know who this cackling hen is, came out in an interview yesterday, put her size 10s back in her mouth again, and reiterated her position to nullify the filibuster in the Senate. Okay. Again, extremely short-sighted. Can't look past the tip of her nose. That she wants to nullify the filibuster so they can pass a federal law saying that abortion is legal in all 50 states. Great. Pass the law. No, It's going to be the answer. Sorry, not happening. You have to do this for me. No, I don't have to do shit. Do you understand this? Okay. A law is meant to maybe prevent somebody from doing something, but a law cannot be put into place for the most part to force somebody to. Yeah, you need to have a driver's license to drive a car legally, but nobody forces you to get a driver's license. You're not forced to get one. There's plenty of people in this country who don't drive. Okay. No, can't force me to do anything. You have to pay taxes. No, I have to pay taxes if I have an income. If I don't have a income, let's say somebody lives off the land, Grizzly Adams type, got no income, don't have to pay no taxes. Simply put, you can't force somebody to do anything. But the bigger thing is they can't enforce any of this stuff. And this is where it comes to a point we need to be ungovernable. All the talk right now for November is Trump versus Harris. That everything. And that's probably not the most important thing going on. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's extremely important. We cannot, under any circumstances, let this airhead get anywhere near making a decision for the country, being the ultimate decision maker. The Senate looks like it will flip, okay? I mean, even in Montana, John Tester, the sitting senator, is now losing by 4 points, I think it is. West Virginia will ultimately go red. Kerry Lake, maybe. Sherrod Brown in Ohio could possibly lose, but there should be at least 2 pickups in the Senate with West Virginia and Montana. That flips the Senate right there, 51-49, Republican control. Now we got to get Mitch McConnell out of the Senate Majority Leader's seat. Put somebody in there who's not a rhino. The House is worrisome. Okay. The GOP controls the House right now, at least on paper, because hell, you've got a Republican senator or a Republican speaker who, for all intents and purposes, is a Democrat. I mean, Mike Johnson has got to go. Mike Johnson is worse than Kevin McCarthy. We're not doing any omnibus bills. Here's our omnibus. We're not doing any continuing resolutions. Here's our CR. We're not giving any more money to Ukraine. Here's your next check. I mean, everything Mike Johnson told us was a lie. He needs to not only be kicked out, the gavel needs to be taken away. He needs to be kicked out of Congress, period. Louisiana, if you're listening, vote for the Democrat. I don't care. Do not let Mike Johnson back. Make an example of him. He needs to go. But there's a decent chance that the GOP loses the House. Now, we can look at it this way. This would be a complete flip. If the way things are playing out right now come to fruition, this would be a complete flip of Washington. The presidency goes from Biden to Trump, so flips from blue to red. The Senate flips from blue to red. And there's a good chance that the House flips from red to blue. Complete upside down. What does that tell you? For the most part, that tells you that Americans are getting sick of politics as usual. The ones that are in there, they're getting rid of. A lot, not all of them, but Americans want change. We don't like the way the Republican House is running things. We're voting for the Democrats. We don't like the way the Democrat Senate is running things. We're voting for the Republicans. Camala Harris doesn't have a brain. We're voting for Donald Trump. Okay. It'll make for a real interesting next 2 years, at least, because obviously the House votes every 2 years. And you have a third of the senators come up for re-election every 2 years. But what laws is a split Congress going to make again? Well, I don't think we see an elimination of the filibuster. like I said, Kamala Harris wants to do that so they can codify Roe. No, not going to happen because, let's look at the short-sightedness. Harry Reid, remember him? The nuclear option. We're going to change the votes on confirming judges from 60 to 51. And the Republicans said, okay. And Donald Trump came in and got 3 Supreme Court justices after they utilized Harry Reid's nuclear option on SCOTUS judges. Trump appointed boatloads of federal judges, and the Democrats screamed bloody murder. They want this filibuster removed to pass Roe. You know what else it can do? Let's go down the list. Let's say that the GOP wins back the House, and the GOP goes, you know what? We don't have a filibuster anymore. We're putting in a law that says abortion's illegal across the country. We could feasibly be in a scenario where the laws completely turn on a dime every couple of years. These 2 years, it's illegal to do something. These 2 years, it's legal to do something. You can own a gun. You can't own a gun. You can smoke marijuana. You can't smoke marijuana. I mean, pick something. This is where they're going. The reason this stuff was put into place, these 2/3, these 60%, because the founding fathers had a good feeling that we'd have somewhat of a split country, and this way there had to be compromise. Okay? Not, we're in power now, we're changing all the rules. Oh, we're in power now, we're going to change them all back. Can you imagine what you'd have to do? I got to bury my guns, I got to unbury my guns. I got to lose them in a boating accident, I got to go find them, right? I mean, jokingly, but that's kind of what we're getting to. We need to be ungovernable. Make all the freaking laws you want, Washington. We're not going to deal with them. A lot of states right now won't. I mean, the federal government saying we want to ban guns again. And the sheriffs and the state police are saying, in a lot of states, including mine, saying, we ain't doing it. Sorry, no. That's going to happen. I mean, like I said with the abortion issue, very simply, abortion's legal in the entire country. You go into the doctor's office and the doctor says, sorry, we don't do those here. We're not going to. No. We're going to make life miserable for you. No, it's not going to happen. You hear the talk all the time about people need to stop paying taxes. That may come. Okay? Somebody had a good idea yesterday that all these companies that are donating to Kamala Harris, going crazy, uber liberal, Google or whatever it is. And you've heard the things, we need to take a time out and not shop at such and such store for a day. Now, what we need at that point is where companies go, let's say you have Tennessee, again, very red, some uber liberal store. Okay. We don't shop there. All the conservative employees say, we're not going to work today. Good luck. Well, go hire a Haitian to do the job. Okay. Good luck. Right. We need to take back the country. We do. Okay. We can't count on politicians to do it themselves. There's a reason that you don't see any poor politicians. Understand this. Okay. They are all crooked. Period. Nancy Pelosi's husband miraculously sold $500 million worth of Visa stock 2 weeks ago, right before the DOJ puts them under investigation. How convenient is that? Did you know anything about that coming up? I didn't. Okay. But they apparently did. Either that or he's the luckiest guy in the world. The only person who's a better stock picker in history than Warren Buffett is the Pelosi family. AOC went from, I can't afford an apartment to, we have a luxury apartment and I'm worth millions of dollars in 4 years. Really? On a $150,000 salary? You must be very smart. Don't make me laugh. We need to take this country back. We need to be ungovernable. We need to tell Washington, you can make all the freaking laws you want. We're not obeying them because we're the ones that make the decision in this country, not you. Pinball out.